Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tierlist Thursday, as we have a special one today, with Special Forces. Tier list that I wanted to make uh, all the time already, as I find the Special Forces really cool in their history, and also in the representation that we have in WARNO with a lot of different units here. And yeah, we're gonna rank them with their power level in between each other. I left the little birds and the Humvees out because they didn't quite feel right, so it's infantry only. And yeah, let me know down below what is your favorite one, and if you want to see more of these, still leaving a like and a subscription down below as well. And let's get into this, starting with the commandos. And yeah, these are pretty solid in-betweeners. They have good transport with the helicopters. 5th Clean Day can use them quite nicely. They have a decent AT. 10 hit points is really good, and 65 is actually quite cheap. I would put them as an AT unit here. They don't really excel at anything. Like, they don't have an insanely strong AT, they don't have a really high HE output, but they're a better infantry squad and everything, and that really makes them an A tier 1 in my eyes. Then we come to the Delta forces, and I find them quite overpriced for what they do, because they don't have AT, and they have a split between short range and long range, and they don't have the sniper trait to really deal insane damage with their sniper rifles. So yeah, they are getting pulled apart a bit. I would put them at C tier here. Delta, not really a unit that I like to use a lot. Fernspur being the next one here. That's the GSR units for the West Germans, and that one not having any extra thing next to its MGs, and like having a sniper rifle, sure, but no TNT, no AT, leaves them at B tier as well. So yeah, Fernspur here, the first West German one, not so strong. I'm not the biggest fan of them for their price point, though they have the GSR, which makes them useful and better than Delta on my eyes. Fallschirmjäger Einsatzgruppe, 60 points, really priced to move because they're special forces. They have decent hit points as well. They have 8 hit points here, and they have a decent amount of firepower. They have the extra trait that makes them even harder to hit if you micro them nicely. Some enemies actually might be getting confused by that as well, by the infiltration, the false flag one. And yeah, having some AT for 60 point special forces, quite nice. Yeah, around commandos, just a better infantry squad, but with optics, but with fewer hit points. So yeah, I would put them in the same category as the commandos, though the recon in it is really nice. Fallschirmjäger, yeah, they are around here as well, having the better AT than both of these units, but having a bit less hit points and being pricier. So yeah, it's just a normal airborne unit, special forces unit here. A tier for me, nothing super fancy. Then we come to the Fallschirmjäger B1, and that one I actually like more because it's really strong anti-infantry, plus still being recon. So really using the special forces for being special forces and demolishing infantry, thanks to their high DPS power, thanks to the extra HE they have to the TNT. So yeah, the Fallschirmjäger B1 with the MP5s, they have insanely high DPS, making them an A tier unit for me. Only the 8 hit points holding them back a bit. Otherwise they would be S tier as a really strong anti-infantry delete machine. But yeah, plus the HK revealing them on long range where they don't want to be revealed. You want to be a bit careful there. But in CQC, they really use the shock and special forces for being absolute demolishers. So yeah, I like them there. Fallschirmjäger Führer, not the biggest fan of them for the price point. A lot of leaders now being cheaper. So yeah, this one I don't think got really hit with the price buff. So I feel like it should be. But yeah, Fallschirmjäger Führer here, not the biggest fan of that one. It is just not that competitive at its price point compared to other infantry leaders now, with still only having 4 hit points. Maybe even a D tier unit at the moment with the changes. Fallschirmjäger Medis was S tier. Now with the Medis nerf, I think it's just B tier. course, it's not that much more effective as AT than the Faltermega now, and it's 10 points more expensive still. So I think it's just a B tier unit here now. The Medi still has some merit, especially with the forward deployment. Still a decent damage output unit, but yeah, B tier only for that one. Faltermega SMG, similar thing. Like long range firepower, you want to usually push with Faltermega with special forces somewhat. They are not great at pushing with their MGs. They do decent damage though. They are a decent score all around. The one less hit point compared to the others hurt still, and yeah, they have only weak AT. So yeah, a B tier unit, not too expensive, so that's keeping them here. But yeah, nothing super fancy. Faltermega Scharfschützen don't really need special forces and cost more than normal sniper units. So on that level, like, the sniper is nice. Paying extra for it doesn't feel so great. So I actually would put both of these into C, though the sniper units themselves are useful. Like, you usually want to use them. Actually, let's just put them into B. It's just that they don't really profit from the special forces trait at all. So yeah, B it is here for these guys. Faltermega Sprengtaucher being really on par here with the Einsatzgruppe, maybe even a bit better as a special force, because they have the TNT. They do the infantry killing thing that you want from your special forces. So having a bit of AT there doesn't hurt either. So yeah, that is this part. And with Faltermega B1, yeah, this is all quite nice. Green Beret have an 84, and that's kind of the saving grace. As they outside of that are only 6 hit points. The damage output is still decent. They're somewhat cheap, 60 points still. Though the Sprengtaucher get 2 extra hit points for the same. So, and the 84 doesn't really profit from special forces that much. And I actually would put them at high C tier. Like, you still use them. And with the Faltermega B1, they are a deadly combo, thanks to the 84. But them on their own, they get melted quite quickly, and then they're not that great. So yeah, the Green Berets, TKS really uses them well. Like, they are an important tool there. They are just not that great when it comes to actually fighting stuff. And yeah, the 84 is helpful though. Green Beret Leader, that's a cool one. 12 hit points, a lot of firepower. Like, a lot of firepower. I actually would put this quite high as a leader unit. I like them quite a lot. And yeah, the ODA adds an S tier unit. It has 8 84s. It has so much firepower. 14. Yes, it is expensive, but 14 hit points is insane. And the 8 rounds on the 84 also give it so much survivability. And yeah, it's just really nice. Profiting from the 4 weapon slot with a lot of firepower thanks to that as well. So yeah, Green Beret ODA, the first S tier one here. Yeah, the extra hit points and so on, it's absolutely worthwhile, the extra price that you pay compared to others. And yeah, really worth the 100 points. There's no infantry that really can efficiently fight it. It can 1v2 quite often as well, thanks to the special forces and all. And yeah, the 84, as I said, is a super helpful tool, and with the amount of ammo you get, the enemy just can't let it run out of ammo. Like, it has paid off so many times before that happens. KSK, same price as Fernspeer, 7 hit points, AT, and satchel charge. Like, I feel like this is a high A tier or low S tier one as well. Exceptional stuff and all of that. Classic stuff, no GSR though. Like, yeah, not having GSR, I guess, is the one that keeps it down here as well. But yeah, and only 7 hit points. Though 7 hit points is okay. But yeah, AT and TNT. Like, yeah, I think we keep it an A tier here. Kampfschimmerkommando 18. I wish it would have amphibious and other, like, Navy SEALs and so on would hopefully get that as well. That would be really cool if they could swim through the water in some shape or form. That, I think, would be kind of a cool thing to have. But yeah, currently just a really strong all-rounder infantry unit. LRS next. Good unit as well. Gets you the recon that you need. Has decent firepower, but not really different from the French pair. No AT, no TNT, so that's an issue. So yeah, B tier for them it is. And then we come to another East German one, as they've split up the Fallschirmjägers and now have Luftsturmjägers. And yeah, price-wise, they're just born to kill. Like, they are 10 points cheaper than the normal Fallschirmjägers, and that's the forward deploy. And then they still an 8 point hit point unit with RPG. Like, as a special forces unit, they are priced to kill. The disadvantage is the transport that you have to pay extra for, but like firepower on themselves for the price point, if you sell the transport of theirs, they are just really, really good. Luftsturmjäger leader for 50 points. Still only 4 hit point unit, so I wouldn't put it too high. But in comparison to the Fallschirmjäger Führer, it's basically the same thing. Just the transport is different, but like, yeah, they are identical in stats, and one is 50, one is 90. That doesn't make sense, so yeah, this one not so great. Fallschirmjäger Medis, still, yeah, really cheap now as well. Only 60 points, they got price reduction already for the Medis, so they are still priced to kill as well. And the Luftsturmjägers, really efficient here. Only not specialist in killing infantry, but 8 hit point special forces with 55 points is really, really solid. Then we come into the territory of the Dragon Para. That one has MP5s, so it has decent damage output on CQC, and I can win some fights there, but it's not really better than the LRS and the French Bear. Maybe a bit better than the LRS. But yeah, we would put them here as well. They do their job as GSR pretty well. The special forces of theirs, not super impactful. Then Para SAS. And yeah, we already have the French commandos over here. These guys are an 8 hit point special forces unit with TNT, with Minimi and Assault and so on. The extra price makes them a bit worse, as they don't have GSR and they don't have AT. Like, KSK has AT over this, basically. One more hit point than the KSK, but not having the AT is absolutely worse than having one more hit point here. So yeah, good unit, just not quite up there. And the CB, another American one of my favorite units in the game, just got another trait. It's one of the units with the most traits: military police, shock, special forces obviously, and then false flag. And yeah, they are basically Green Berets with extra traits, and then also a satchel charge on top, and better optics, and that for 5 points more, and that immediately levels them up quite a lot higher. I would put them around here. The 6 hit points still holding them back, but the MP5s giving them a lot of firepower, and the satchel charge is important that they actually can win infantry fights in the close quarter, really, without taking too much damage, because they stun down the enemy. And then, yeah, they really do the damage in the long run, thanks to their 84 and the MP5s there. So, yeah, they are really good. The military police trait also perfect for Berliner, so that's a nice addition as well, helping out any kind of unit. Rangers, pretty good as well. 9 hit points, that's quite high for special forces. 65 points. I would put them into S tier here as well. The Dragon one, after the nerf, I would say it's pretty similar to the Fallschirmjäger one, though they are one more hit point, so I would put them up in B tier. Yeah, 9 hit points really helping. The submachine gun, light machine gun combo is not perfect though, so otherwise they would be S tier, but yeah, that holds them back a bit. The Ranger leader itself, 75 points is fair. The recoilless rifle nowadays not amazing. The sniper rifle combination with it though can be quite good. In general, still not a leader I'm super impressed with though. We have only 6 hit points, so C tier it is here for this one. And then we come to the SAS, which has been dominant for quite a while, and it still feels like it. The super high accuracy on the Stingers, the really strong 84, the ability to demolish enemy infantry in CQC without revealing themselves earlier, if the enemy runs into them, and only firing when the C8s can fire. That's really, really strong. SAS, absolute god tier still, even though they are really expensive nowadays. I would say the Green Beret ODA by now are a bit better. I mean, they're the same price, and you just pay for the Stinger here, and it's 6 hit points more over here. But that combo of 84 Stinger Special Forces all in one is just so powerful. So I still think they're S tier, just not quite the absolute best anymore. And then we come to another British unit, and that is actually better than its NATO compatriots, and that is the SAS Patrol. And that has TNT, MP5s, and GSR, so it is better than these guys. I still don't think it's insanely strong. You usually don't want to fight with it, but it can kill enemy infantry if they run on top of it. It doesn't have AT though, but the GSR together with the infantry that can protect itself really well is quite nice. So yeah, here we go. Sniper gets added where the German ones are already. Not really that great, but okay. Then Spetsgruppe A got buffed. It was a C tier unit beforehand. I still don't like their weapons though. Like, they don't deal much damage, and the combination with the sniper rifle and the Scorpion doesn't feel great. Satchel charges help, and the cheaper price helps as well. I still am not convinced that this is a great unit though, as the Scorpion stats are just not that amazing. And then Spetsnaz. I still think Spetsnaz do really well what you want from Spetsnaz. They are absolute demolishers of infantry. You need to have something with AT around them though. That's what's keeping them out of S tier nowadays. With maybe a combination in the future, potentially possible. That could change, but 12 hit points means they're insanely hard to kill. The RPOA really helpful as well, and they just demolish anything that runs into them, still to this date. And yeah, 90 points is fine for that because it's the absolute infantry delete machine. Spetsnaz GRU, a pretty strong unit as well, as it has AT on one of these GSR units, and that is a strong combo. Spetsnaz GRU, RPG 22 there, and yeah, decent firepower on the CQC as well, just outright better than the Fair Dragon and LRS. And Spetsnaz GRU Stinger, lower hit points, no GSR, but the Stinger is quite nice. It's not as AS level though it's cheaper, but you only get 3 rounds, and you have AT still. Like, it's still an AT unit. I would put them around the commandos. The Stinger is really nice. The RPG is low range, that's the issue there, and it doesn't really help infantry fighting wise, but it can survive against some situations there, I guess. And the special forces can help out a bit there. So yeah, I would put them in here, though I'm not the absolute biggest fan of them in that regard. Spetsnaz Comrade is a fairly priced special forces commander, 7 hit points, has an RPG, so that is okay. Yeah, I wouldn't expect more out of them, but they do their job okay. And then we have the OP Spetsnaz, which are 10 points more expensive than their non-special forces one, because they get debuffed for special forces and then forward deploy. I don't quite feel that. Like, the RPG 29, yes, is a bit more accurate and aim time is lower and all with special forces, but it doesn't really profit from it super much. So I like the unit itself, but I don't think it really does what special forces do. So I actually would put it high C tier. And in combination with Spetsnaz, it's still important. You just wish the Spetsnaz would just bring the RPG on their own though. Then it would be amazing. And yeah, paying so much extra compared to the normal RPG 29 infantry unit, it doesn't feel amazing either. Then Spezialaufklärer, really just like the Soviet one. Amazing because it brings AT next to a GSR, and that is a fantastic combo. The AT is a bit weaker, so yeah, I would put it behind the Luftsturmjägers then maybe. But it still does a good job with it, so that is helpful. And then we have the Wachaufklärer, which are really cheap for what they do. Good recon, 6 hit points only, and the RPG. They're a decent recon unit, but they don't really kill extra, so I think it's a C tier unit. Being 15 points cheaper here is quite nice, and they still have AT. Like that's good. They don't have forward deployment though, and they also don't have anything else really extra. So yeah, it's a good one, and it's a cost efficient one. Like that's the thing that keeps it in here. Just outside of that, it's nothing fancy. So yeah, this is the tier list. SAS and Green Berets on top. Fallschirmjäger Führer on the bottom. Green Berets, Deltas, and OP Spetsnaz down here. And then a lot of units in here. Spetsnaz, KSK, Fallschirmjäger B1. I really love playing all these units. I like playing all of these. I'm okay when I get these. And yeah, these don't feel amazing, though you need them some. Like the C tier one, you need them sometimes. Not so much the Delta, but the Spetsnaz and the Green Beret. And yeah, let me know down below what you would have chosen. And see you all next time. Bye bye, and have a great day.